playing a little bit, y'all. Y'all forgive me. I'm getting used to certain things. What's up, y'all? It's your girl. Free bad. Oh, yeah, I like that. I like that. Keep it right there. You let me know if you can hear me. Because my boss say that Tron is taking my Wi-Fi. But my thing is strong. All right? My Wi-Fi is supposedly strong, but Tron taking the Wi-Fi, y'all. It's like that sometimes. So y'all let me know if y'all can hear me at any time. Welcome. How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? I did a little bit of a live earlier, and I'm gonna expand on it right now. Okay. Before we go any further, please hit the like, share, subscribe. What's up, Jennifer O'Jenny? How you doing? Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Y'all probably tell me anyway. You know what I'm saying? Share the live, please, because this is important, you know? I'll play some videos y'all might have seen a million times, but then I'm going to talk about other things. You know, I'm going to give my commentary to these videos because yo, man, this shit is crazy, Jennifer OJ. We got to do something. We got to do something, okay? And, you know, the title of my thing says, Dr. Jackie Walters is exposed, so who's going to help black women now? We was waiting for her to help us, right? I wasn't waiting for no Dr. Jackie to help me, but whatever, I really wasn't. That wasn't my job, okay? When I first came to this Married to Medicine thing. You know, I'm gonna pop this off real quick. I like it like this, but we're gonna fade it out real quick. I'll play it if I need a break. Okay, there we go. So, this is a lot. It's really taking me there. You shocked by Dr. Jackie, but you're not surprised, Jennifer? Oh, Jenny, clearly you wasn't in my last live because there was a young lady who had an experience with Dr. Jackie and spoke on it. You know, if she comes back, then yay. You know, if she don't, that's okay. But according to her, you know, Dr. Jackie was fine. You know, she was all right until it was around the time for delivery, and then she started slacking up and acting up. You know, there's another video by a lady named Buffy, I think her name is. All right, let me move back. So Married to Medicine is a reality TV show on Bravo. And, you know, it centers around women who are either married to physicians or, you know, these women are physicians themselves. And Dr. Jackie is one of those women. She is an OBGYN in Atlanta. And there was another woman that was on Married to Medicine. I think her name was Buffy. She's not on the show anymore, but she did a live stating that, you know, if you're rich and famous, Dr. Jackie will do everything for you. But if you are, hey, Fee, I'm glad you're here. But, you know, if you're a regular woman, she don't care, you know, whether you black or what. She don't care. She looking at money, you know. Yeah, I heard that she used to body shame her and all that stuff. You know, let me give a couple of disclaimers, okay? Of course, Dr. Jackie, she's a doctor. She's supposed to have a certain standard, right? But she's human. You know, she don't have to be the most socially great person. You know, she can be socially awkward. She can be a mean girl probably every so often, you know. According to this lady Buffy, she's like that in real life, but you never know. She could be just faking for the jacks on TV. But, you know, I really have no clue, and that's not why we're here today. You know what I'm saying? We're not here for that today. What we are here for today is to really go over, you know, these past couple of days. Actually, 7 months ago. 7 months ago, Dr. Jackie made a video with Vice President Kamala Harris. But we were only able to see it last week because it ended up on the show Married to Medicine. And like I was saying, the only reason why I started looking at Married to Medicine this season was because of Phaedra Parks. It wasn't even because of these doctors or anything like that. You know, I always wanted to be a doctor when I was young. I actually wanted to be an OBGYN, but truth be told, once I was in high school and I saw the video of how babies are born and what it looked like, I kind of changed my mind. I went to college for pre-med, but it was like, you know, I wish I would be a doctor. Maybe I should be a doctor. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me because, you know, my Wi-Fi is acting up. All right, I'm on the computer. It's okay, though. So first thing I want to do is play the video of Vice President Kamala Harris and Dr. Jackie. And I'm really going to go and do commentary on all of these videos here. And then we're going to get into the real meat and potatoes of why I'm here and who I really want to talk about. Because if you look at my thumbnail, it's Dr. Jackie smiling. But then you look at another woman and she look like she crying. And we thank you, Jennifer, Jenny. And we're going to get to that later. Okay, but first, let's watch this this video, y'all. Let's watch that real quick. Hold on a second, y'all. Let me get this together. Because, you know, I'm still kind of new to this thing. But I'm getting there. You see, I'm making my own thumbnails, even if they are corny. I don't care. You know, I don't care. But let's listen. If we can hear it. Oh, there we go.
For you. But I'm so grateful that you're dealing with something.
We're gonna.
Hi. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy life to have this conversation and for all your work.
I'm so excited to sit before you, but I'm so grateful that you're dealing with something that is just, you know, taking our moms. And we want somebody to hear us. And thank you for hearing us. Thank you for doing what you're doing. And I appreciate it.
You know, it's a time to celebrate mothers for the care that they give. And I think this conversation is also about the responsibility we have to care for our mothers.
So listen, what I want.
No, not really. That wasn't what I was expecting from the conversation. But I guess that's what she's going to talk about. She talking about mothers like it's Mother's Day. But, you know, it's I guess it was Mother's Day back then because now it's December. So maybe that's why that didn't make sense to me. But let's keep going.
I want the world to know, and I'm saying it loud, is we are in an intense time of difficulties and trouble and danger when it comes to maternity mortality. It certainly shouldn't be that way. And what I really want us to do is just make sure we are talking about it.
I mean, the idea that in one of the wealthiest.
Now, here's the thing. Mortality is very important. How the mortality comes is equally as important. How we are treated before that is important. Are there any preventative measures to ensure there's not a miscarriage? Let's talk about that too. Yeah. And I'm talking about them. You know, let's talk about it with them. We could talk about it later. But let's keep watching this video.
Countries in the world, the United States of America, we have the highest rates of maternal mortality. That Black women in our country in this era are 3 times more likely to die in connection with childbirth. I think it's inexcusable. As a physician, I know you teach your patients and others about their rights. Can you talk a little bit about that?
As an OBGYN, as the health provider for women, my biggest teachable moment to a patient is make sure you feel comfortable with a doctor enough to ask questions.
Now, I guess this is the part where that next video that I'm going to show comes in because you know, she's saying to Kamala Harris, you know, I want my patients to feel comfortable, but it's kind of hard to feel comfortable with your doctor when they don't pay you no mind. Okay? Or when they put you to the side when you need them most. Or they just don't believe you. All right, let's keep going.
I want you to challenge me. Why, when, what, where. So definitely ask questions and see a doctor who makes you feel safe and supported.
We have been fighting for states to expand Medicaid coverage. 32 states have signed on. We need all the states to sign on, and we need to let.
Okay, I'm sorry. Here's my other issue here. All right. What if you don't have Medicaid? What if you don't have insurance? There are many people in New York City that don't have insurance, y'all. They can tell you all kinds of things, right? And if they do have insurance, it might be in the form of some kind of assistance like welfare, something, unless you have a job that really provides that for you, you know, it's hard, okay? Yep, Jennifer. Oh, Jenny, you know we're going to get to that. You know we're going to get to that. That's why I had to pause it, because I was like, this is so ironic right here that she's saying all of this, but you doing something else as little as 3 years ago. You know, Kamala Harris, she ain't no better. What you need to let the mamas know. Let's find out.
Moms know that they're actually entitled to Medicaid coverage for up to 12 months of postpartum care. And that's one of the things that we need to get the word out. We also set up.
Okay, hold on. We were talking about mortality rates during childbirth. No. If we're talking about mortality, what do I care about postpartum care? The baby's gone. Whose care am I going to get therapy for losing my baby? Whether it's miscarriage or, you know, delivery, you know, certain complications with delivery, regardless of what it is, what is the point of getting postpartum care if we're talking about mortality, which means someone dies, either the mother or the child, or both in some cases? What are we saying, Kamala Harris? You see, deflection. Oh man, what's that word? Where is she? What is that word I'm looking for? I'm gonna find that word, y'all. I'm definitely gonna find that word. I guarantee you, it starts with a D. All right, but the ghetto, the street word would be the throw off. It's the throw off, basically. Let's keep watching the throw off.
A hotline for mothers to have support in terms of emotional and mental health. So I'll give you that number.
When do they get that number? Do they get that number as soon as they find out they're pregnant? Do they get that number if they go to a certain trimester? Or do they get that number after the fact? When do they get that number? And there's a lot of women that don't realize they're pregnant until later on. You know what I mean? So how are we doing this? How do we know? How do we know? Deflection. Thank you. That's one of the words, Jennifer OJ. It's another one too. And I will get it. Trust me. Let's watch the rest of this. That's a mess.
Number. Let's make sure we get that out also. It's 1-833 TLC Mama.
And I'm going to be posting it and shouting it to the hills.
Yeah.
So that moms know that we support them, that we want to make this better.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, and to you, Dr.
Oh yeah,
Jackie,
one Mother's Day.
Our mothers come in every form, and I think it really is truly about the calling to care for people. Yes. And to let them know and remind them they are loved and yes. They're not alone. Let us all work together, and I know we will make a difference. Thank you.
And whatever you need me to do, I'm here. And thank you. And have an amazing day.
I'll see you later.
Okay, so now I'm really upset. Okay, that really pisses me. Yeah, where the resources at, Jennifer Jenny? Have you seen a commercial or some sort of thing on Instagram or Facebook or something about the TLC mama? Huh? Have you seen somebody? Have you seen Kamala Harris do a PSA about the TLC for mama, the TLC for the mama? Or was that only for Mother's Day? Where's it at now? Was it available for the whole country? Because clearly I'm about to show y'all somebody who missed that memo right there. And not on purpose, okay? Because I'm sure if she knew about the TLC Mama hotline, she could have called them to figure out how to help herself. Not a one, exactly. It's all smoke and mirrors, all right? No wonder I was so confused. She like, oh, to the mamas. But when you watched the show last week, they cut out that whole part about Mother's Day. Of course they will, because it's December. What I'm looking at Mama's Day for? This is garbage. Oh, okay. See, it was only in ATL, right? Child, boo. It's garbage. Garbage. And this is what's pissing me off. Because I'm tired of these show politics. Like these politics today is like fucking watching fucking YouTube. Okay? They tell you all kinds of garbage. And none of it is real. None of it is true. When is it gonna happen? Okay, when? At least back in the day, if a president made 5 promises, at least one came through. Now it's all Hollywood. Okay, even your government is Hollywood. Now, and this is where I'm taking it to. So please like the video, share. If you want to subscribe, you subscribe. Fair use and all that good stuff. I even got a disclaimer in my comments. Okay. Now we're going to watch this next video of what she said 3 years ago. This ain't long. So, let's hit it. Hold on a second. Let me pull this up. Because this is ridiculous. Okay? This is the most ridiculous. Here, I'm trying to show you. Let's go.
Sometimes as African American women, we're a bit more dramatic. And that you go to the doctor and you complain and you complain and you complain, and you're not taken serious because you cried wolf the entire pregnancy.
That ain't me, boo. I don't know what you're talking about, but go ahead.
I didn't say you. I just said as African American women, we want to also make sure you're being serious with your doctor and not playing the game so I can take you off work. Because then we see you 25 times in the pregnancy. It's hard to believe that there's a true problem when there's a true problem.
Okay, so here's my issue with this POS right there, right? You're a medical professional, okay? You of all people should know the disparities that come with Black women in the medical community. I've read articles and seen videos where nurses have gotten their textbooks and was able to show like 20 different cases of racism within the textbooks, period. Okay, towards Black women. And one of those misconceptions is that Black people have a high tolerance for pain. It is beyond fucking ridiculous, Jennifer O'Jenny. And my thing is, like I said in my last live, if we have such a pain tolerance, right? You should believe me when I tell you I'm in pain. If my pain tolerance is so high that I can handle anything, if I tell you I'm in pain, freaking believe it. But then that goes to the other misconception or stereotype that Black people are lazy. Huh? How are we lazy? We're the last ones to be lazy. Black women are the most resilient, hardworking, especially single mothers. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Even if they're married, that don't mean they don't work. Well, we all got some rich husband where we could just sit back and relax. No, we don't. Exactly. Oh, Jennifer O'Jenny, Black people haven't been going to a doctor for a while. Okay, I mean they do, but for the longest time, you find scores of Black people talk about, hey Michael, talking about, I'm not going to no damn doctor. I'll sit here and get fucked up. I'll sit here and be fucked up. That's okay. you know? And the craziest part is at one time, there was a really huge rise in doulas and midwives, and there were birthing centers all over the place. Now they're pretty much gone. Where are they now? They got rid of them, especially, in my personal opinion, for Black women, because a lot of Black women, especially during the lockdown, tried to have home births and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of Black women like, fuck that. I'm gonna have my baby at home with my doula. Let me go get her. With my midwife. Okay? And that midwife had a connection to the hospital just in case something happened at the house. Now we can go to the hospital and get it together and blah, 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 like that shit. Okay? But now it seems like that's even a problem. I don't even hear about that no more. They made all these changes in abortion laws and all of this. But what happened to saving the baby? Right? It's like they made these abortion laws to make sure that one race of babies stay alive, while at the same time ensuring that another race of babies are passed on, or their mothers, or both. Okay? Right. Doula requests have skyrocketed. And where the doulas at? We need more doulas out here. Okay? We need more of that. Listen, I got ideas. Okay? Now, this interview that we just saw was 3 years ago. The interview with Kamala Harris was 7 months ago. And the reason why I'm so upset behind all of this is because where are these people now? Right now, okay? There's a woman named Brittany Watts right now that is in custody, and her case is going to a grand jury. All right? She's being charged for miscarrying. What is that? Let's watch this real fast, okay? This is from KOLD.com, 13 News. I don't know where they had the actual article is by CNN, but we're going to watch a little bit of this video because people like videos, okay? They like to watch things. So let's watch this.
After the death of her 22-week-old fetus, Brittany Watts felt distraught, heartbroken, empty, according to texts she sent to local television station WJW. A coroner's report and 911 call obtained by CNN detail the days before and after the miscarriage that led to her arrest and felony charge.
I had a mother who had a delivery at home and came in without the baby.
In mid-September, Watts visited St. Joseph Hospital multiple times and was told her water broke and her fetus would not survive. Medical staff recommended Watts be induced into labor, the report says. At first, she declined medical care, but later returned to the hospital intending to give birth. According to a Washington Post interview with Watts' attorney, Watts waited 8 hours to give birth as doctors and officials considered whether inducing her would violate Ohio's abortion laws. Watts went home. 2 days later, she miscarried into a toilet. Watts returned to the hospital a third time after her miscarriage, where hospital staff called police.
It is a very early pregnancy, so if it was born alive, I am certain it is not now alive.
Investigators found the fetus still stuck in the toilet at Watts' home. Watts now faces a felony charge for abuse of a corpse. The coroner's report states the fetus died in utero. In a recent hearing, a prosecutor described the case like this.
The issue isn't how the child died, when the child died. It's the fact that the baby was put into a toilet.
Watts' attorney
Put
told
into
CNN
a
in
toilet?
statement, there is no law in Ohio that requires a mother suffering a miscarriage to bury or cremate those remains. Women miscarry into toilets every day. Bioethicist Katie Watson called the criminal charge absurd.
I think this is an example of a woman violating feelings rules. She didn't perform sadness and she didn't perform respect in a way that the prosecutors could recognize. And so they chose to punish her with a prosecution.
Watts' case has set off heated debate over criminalizing pregnancy outcomes, including miscarriages.
This is about misunderstanding miscarriage and how it works. It's about misunderstanding the psychological and psychiatric reactions that some people have during and after a miscarriage.
Abortion rights group Ohio Physicians for Reproductive Rights is urging prosecutors to drop the case. The group's co-founder, Dr. Marcela Azevedo, told CNN the risk to other women facing non-viable pregnancies is enormous.
The criminalization of her pregnancy outcomes further stigmatizes both abortion and pregnancy, but it certainly particularly affects communities that are Black and brown, and it creates a bigger discrepancy, and it doesn't allow them to feel safe.
Johnson County School District bus driver is finally retiring.
My bad, y'all. So yeah, ain't that a bitch? How could she put the baby in the toilet? Okay? How could she put a baby in the toilet? This makes no sense. Okay? And it really makes my skin crawl. Because let's get to another article, okay? Because how could you put a baby in a toilet? There was no way. If she had a miscarriage, it dumped in the toilet. She pushed it out. She probably didn't even realize that she was going to push it out. A lot of times when a baby's ready to be pushed out, it feels like you taking a dump. Okay? And both holes are open. You can't really help that. All right? She probably didn't even know. Listen, not listen, but we're gonna look at an article here. Okay, this is from Slate Magazine. Bless their hearts. All right, exactly, Jennifer. Oh, Jenny, they had absolutely no business sending her home. But we're gonna really get into the nitty gritty now, because you know these TV news stations and all that, they can only put what they put in for like a minute or so. So we're really going to deep dive into it. Give me a moment here. Let me pull this up, okay? Because this right here is great. Even though it's not the podcast itself, I don't mind reading certain things to you at all, okay? So let's get to the nitty-gritty. Mary Ziegler is a law professor who had been following the Watts case closely. We've been promised by a lot of legislators that the laws are not intended to target women. But the visual of someone like Brittany Watts being prosecuted for something like this was pretty striking. I think that's an understatement, my friend. I really do. Okay? Abuse of a corpse. That in itself is disgusting enough, all right? Imagine you trying to get a job, and they're like, well, do you have any felonies or misdemeanors? And you're like, yeah, abuse of a corpse. That doesn't sound like you had a miscarriage. That sounds like you were a necromancer, okay? It sounds disgusting. And imagine slapping that on a poor innocent woman that had a baby and it couldn't be saved. Like, what are you saying to me, y'all? For real? This makes absolutely no sense at all. Okay? But let's keep reading. Abuse of a corpse, that's a felony in Ohio. It could result in up to a year in prison and a $2,500 fine. It's both pretty harsh and pretty unusual. It sure is. And I'm not paying $2,500 fine to get out of that thing. You can kick rocks. You're not going to put something like that on my record. Hell no. Hell to the no. Especially considering what she had to go through to end up here. Let's keep reading. On Wednesday's episode of What's Next, we looked at how the Brittany Watts case may be a new kind of template for anti-abortion activists. Now, to me, abortion is, I don't want this baby. Let's go to the doctor and get rid of it somehow. I take a pill. I go, under anesthesia to get rid of it, whatever. there are certain, depending on the time of the pregnancy, right? Or depending on if your medical, if you yourself have some sort of ailment where if you have this baby, either you or that baby's going to die, they let you get an abortion between 22 and 24 weeks, right? Yeah, girl, fine. This case here and the case of the other lady that's in Texas, where she's very sick and she really needs to have an abortion and they don't want to give it to her. There's slightly different cases because it's one thing to, and actually, yeah, they're kind of different because this lady wanted to keep her baby and tried to keep her baby. You can't help a miscarriage. It's unfortunate to say, women miscarry in the toilet every day. It sounds really harsh, but it is kind of true, okay? Women don't say it, but I'm sure if you ask them, if you ask 20 women, how many of you had a miscarriage and it ended up in your toilet? Probably like 4 or 5 will raise their hand if they feel comfortable enough to. The other 4 and 5 might have a totally different story as to where and how they miscarried and how that ended up. You don't know. This is so disgusting. But let's keep reading. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger so y'all can see, okay? But the days leading up to the miscarriage are also really telling. Brittany Watts is 33 years old and works as a medical receptionist. She's already in the medical field, right? So you would assume that she would be one of those people to be like, okay, I know where to go. I know who to deal with. This, that, and the third, right? She was just under 22 weeks pregnant when things started going wrong. Now, like I told y'all, around this time of 22 to 24 weeks, that's when things get really complicated, okay? If you were 9 weeks pregnant, 10 weeks pregnant, 15 weeks pregnant, it'll be different for you, all right? But when you get to these later stages, you're in your second trimester, going into your third, that's when the debates come and it gets heated and all of that. Me personally, it should be across the board. I don't care if the woman had a baby for 3 weeks and miscarried, okay? She should get the same treatment as a woman who miscarried, stillborn, or whatever the case may be. All right? That's where I'm at right now. That's how I feel. She went to the hospital to complain of pain and bleeding. Her medical records show that doctors deemed her pregnancy not viable. They said that if they didn't induce labor, Watts was at a significant risk of death. So they already knew that. They already knew this was a case here where you're going to have that abortion or whatever the case may be so that at least her life can be saved. All right? But they weren't sure if they could act. Here we go with the red tape. Okay? That meant that Brittany Watts sat around for nearly 8 hours while doctors debated whether they could perform the induction that she needed. So Mary Ziegler says the state of abortion law in Ohio is complicated. This was later in pregnancy, and the physicians weren't sure if they provided her an induction, whether that would count as an illegal abortion and they would face criminal consequences. How would it be an illegal abortion? This is where I'm at. How could it be an illegal abortion if the woman is almost ready to die? How could it be illegal? To save a life, one or the other. What did they want to do? Say, oh no, I'll die. You just saved the child? Like, what are we really doing here? What are we doing? I mean, if there was something like, oh, we can only save one or the other, I get it, but that wasn't even the case. Both of them could have been saved, right? How is it an illegal abortion and then you spend 8 hours trying to figure that out? Would you have to go to lunch? Would you try to get in touch with your Your hospital lawyer, they should be in the hospital right then and there. Okay? Well, they went on vacation or something? Or is it because she's black, she has to go through all of that? Because if she was white, what would have happened? Would they have to go through any of this? Maybe in the state of Texas, yes. I'm not sure about the state of Ohio. Okay? So they went back and forth multiple times about whether they could intervene. And ultimately, Watts just went home because it didn't appear there was going to be any resolution anytime soon. You know what, truth be told, I would have went home too. 8 hours just sitting there, more uncomfortable than I could be at home? No. I'd rather go home if I can make it home. If I can make it home. Garbage. Let's keep going. As a woman who's been in the healthcare system, I understand that instinct. You're stuck at a hospital, you're waiting, you're uncomfortable. It doesn't seem like anyone's helping you. It seems like a pretty natural instinct to go home. But then, of course, that's what landed her in a situation where she miscarried there. Okay, is that her fault? Did she know she was going to miscarry when she went home? Hell, they didn't even know. They didn't even know. How come she can't sue them for malpractice? Y'all spent all this time arguing and leaving me sitting here, and y'all let my baby die. She should sue them for malpractice, okay? And killing her baby. Stop playing with me. Absolutely. And it's worth emphasizing that there was no guarantee they were going to provide her an induction if she had stayed, because the reason the delay was occurring was not just ordinary healthcare bureaucracy. It was because they weren't sure they could offer her an induction without violating the law. Like that stopped y'all before. Y'all violate the law all the time. Y'all violate human rights. You're violating basic human rights. So do we violate basic human rights or do we violate the law? Come on, man. Sometimes you got to make a decision. It's somebody's life right here. I am human. So is she. Come on. I'm so, you know what? Yeah, so she was really stuck. She was. And then she delivered a fetus that was about 15 ounces over the toilet. So that's less than a pound. Right. She didn't know what to do. She scooped out what she thought was clogging the toilet and placed some of it near the garage, then took a shower. Okay, before I go any further, because this is kind of where she messed up, right? But at the same time, I understand it. Do people think that all black people have seen a dead body before? Do you think that all black people have seen a dead baby, a dead fetus before? Huh? Do you think that she's even going to know what to do? She tried her best. She scooped out where she could. How would she know everything in there or not in there or whatever? How dare you? It's disgusting. Okay, then she took a shower. She drove to a hair appointment because she didn't want her mother to find out about this. Everybody is different, y'all. Okay? I get the part where, the response should have been this or should have been that. But I'm sure many times if a woman had a miscarriage and they're not bleeding out or anything like that, they're going to sit in their house and cry for a little while. They're not going to immediately go to the hospital, or they might not be able to make it to the hospital immediately. Okay? They might call somebody, and that person might be like, well, calm down and, rest because you're going through this and you're stressed out and da-da-da, and let's just comfort you for now, and then you can go back to the hospital. Because what is she supposed to do? Go back to the hospital after they sent her away, and they're the ones that killed her? What was she supposed to do? Call the police and be like, well, can you help me get this dead baby out the toilet? Because I just went to the bathroom to take a dump and the baby came out? Was that what she was supposed to do? Y'all motherfuckers are so disgusting. It's crazy. No, I wouldn't have gone to no hair appointment, but thank goodness she did, because the hairdresser was worried about her. She didn't look well, and the hairdresser took her to the hospital. And that was the fourth time. Hey, me, Mary Jean. And that was the fourth time she'd been in the hospital that week. If it was me, I wouldn't want to go back to the hospital either. The hairdresser would have forced me to go to the hospital. And she still could have died. She still could have died. She didn't look good. And she tried to play it off like nothing was wrong. Okay. But you can't gauge how people respond to shit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, I mean, if she was well, if she went to Rio de Janeiro or fucking Vegas to gamble or some shit, I get it. She went to the hairdresser to try to make herself feel better because she went through this thing and she couldn't tell nobody. All right? She didn't want to tell nobody. She didn't know how to tell nobody. She didn't want to tell her mother. She didn't know how her mother would react. You know her mother? Her mother could have criticized her. How would you know what her mother would have did? She probably felt ashamed that she lost the baby. Let's keep going. We know how the police got involved. The nurse had to report the information because that's her job. But look at here. The law enforcement visited her while assuring her she was not in trouble. So what, you lied? You lied to her? Because I'm sure, like, come on, what would she be in trouble for? What would she be in trouble for? Huh? What would she be in trouble for? And at the same time, if you could take out whatever of a baby, maybe you want to bury that baby. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. You don't know if that baby even stayed the way it was, whatever you put it in. You don't know. You have no idea. What are you going to do? Keep it next to you in the house? Makes no sense whatsoever. None. And she's assuming, okay, I'm not in trouble. So let me tell you what it is. But of course, they're looking for something. They're looking for something. You read it right here. They're looking for something. They're looking for something to make this not be accidental. Why? Why? Why were they so pressed to make it look like she did something on purpose? It has to be race. Would they have done this to a white woman or an Asian woman? No, they don't really have these problems here. We do. We do. We get treated like animals, and animals get treated better than we do. Does racism not exist anymore? I thought it doesn't exist anymore. No, clearly it does. Because she's not even being looked at as a human being. Give me a break. They disassembled her toilet to look in her pipes? For what? That makes no sense. Why would they do any of that? Why? Why would they go through any of that? That makes zero sense. Why would they feel like she killed the baby on purpose? Like, she came in there bleeding, about to die. What'd she do? Were you looking for a hanger? Is that what you were doing? Who was she dealing with? People from the 1950s and 60s? Give me a freaking break. She needs to sue the police department too. And this lady also feels like Brittany Watts being a woman of color has everything to do with it. According to the group Pregnancy Justice, the overwhelming majority of people who are prosecuted in cases of pregnancy loss tend to be low-income people of color who have issues either with taking legal substances like prescription drugs or alcohol or illegal drugs. So when a pregnancy looks suspicious to the police, when a pregnancy loss looks suspicious to the police, it has everything to do with who the pregnant person is. For those of you who say that the court systems favor, Michael, for those of you who say that the court systems favor the mother, clearly that's no longer the case. Okay? It's a woman's world now, only if you're white, Asian, Spanish, or anything other than black. And when I say black, I'm talking about Americans, okay? I have to tell certain people I'm Caribbean American for them to even give me a little bit more respect. It's ridiculous. More than that. Okay? She wasn't behaving in a way that prosecutors expected pregnant people to behave. Are any of these prosecutors women with children? Have any of these prosecutors ever had a miscarriage like this? Have any of these prosecutors ever had to go through this? So how would they know how pregnant people are supposed to behave when they try to do the right thing and they get ignored? Stop playing with me. She went to the doctor 4 times that week. She sat there for 8 hours while they deliberated whether they are going to violate the law. Whose law? Oh, it's complicated in Ohio. You know what? When she was 10 weeks pregnant, I would have told her, come over to New York. Come over to another state and have your baby. Is that what we have to do now? Do we have to tell women in certain states, when you get to a certain level, go to another state and have your baby? So it might be safer for you? Is that what we need to do? Just in case you have a complication, take your ass to Canada. And you know what? Canada ain't no better, okay? Even though Canada has universal health care and all that stuff, 43% of black women up there go through this bullshit, okay? So don't think that Canada is so sweet. We might have to go to Mexico, all right? The fuck? Anyway, let's keep going. Yes, Jenny. Of course they're all men. Just like most of the pro-choice people are all, not the pro-choice, the pro-life people are all men. Because they don't have no damn baby. So how would they know what the hell is going on? Go look at all the people that are pro-life. 95% of them are men. And no offense to you men, but y'all don't push out no baby. Y'all don't go through what we go through. Y'all have never had a miscarriage. You will never see it. You don't even catch a piece of period. So how the hell would you know or be able to have any authority over my pom-pom uterus, a vagina, or anything like that? It makes no sense. Okay? You look at pro-choice, it's 95% women pro-choice. Disgusting. The prosecutor sent a note to reporters essentially saying she got rid of this baby and went on about her day like nothing had happened. How is she going to get rid of the baby? How? How? You think she went home and said, well, let me get rid of this baby then? What? She's already at a risk for death. You think she wanted to kill herself too? Are you stupid? She's scared. She don't know what to do. She trying to keep a baby. Get out of here. What do you think? She's fake bleeding and migraines and all this other stuff? This is what I don't get. What are we in high school? Oh, let me fake this so I can get a fake doctor's note. So I can, go to high school in 2 weeks. What are we talking about here? Exactly. They was careful not to break the law, but they had no problem setting her up like she broke the law, right? just to throw it off of them because they did malpractice. Okay, they didn't do right by that woman. They didn't do right by their Hippocratic oath or whatever hospital promises they had for patients. They violated that. So instead of them holding themselves accountable for that, no, they try to put it on this poor black lady. Get the hell out of here. And likely her race in class 2 rendered her probably suspicious before anything even happened. See, that's the problem. We know that's what it is, but that's hard to prove. We can say, look how he's acting, look how they're acting, look at these statistics and all of this, but we will have to prove that that particular prosecutor and that particular person and that particular person is a racist. It ain't hard, though. We can put the whole police department is racist because why you look through her pipes? I don't give a damn how she responded. She went a couple of times with problems. Why they didn't do nothing? That's all. As far as I'm concerned, that's all her lawyer really needs to do. All her lawyer really needs to do is prove that the hospital was the one that was liable for this bullshit, not her. Okay? All of this could have been prevented if the hospital took her in and did what they had to do. But no. And all she was honest. I could even see if she went to the hospital and told the nurse a lie. And she was like, oh, I don't know. I was in the river and the baby went down the river Nile or some shit. I can see that. Oh, yeah, she lied. But she didn't lie. If you miscarry at home, what are you supposed to do? Because it strikes me, of course, you're going to miscarry over the toilet. And I don't know what you're supposed to do at that point if that's happening to you. And I assume Brittany Watts didn't know either. We know she didn't know. I don't think most people know because they don't. Facts. Most people don't know. There's no manual for miscarriage. They got some books out there. But if you don't read them pregnancy books and you don't read the part about miscarriage, you're definitely not going to know. And even if you do read those books, they don't tell you, oh, if you miscarry by the baby going in the toilet bowl, this is what you do. If you miscarry this way, this is what you do. If you miscarry that way, this is what you do. No, they don't do that. They don't tell you how to fix your mental health from dealing with a miscarriage. None of that. None of it is specified. You probably got about maybe 3 paragraphs on that shit, and it's a wrap. Trust me, I got some books. Okay? Fuck out of here. And there's no standard guidance about what to do with fetal remains. No, there wouldn't, because you can have a miscarriage at any stage of your pregnancy. So what they're going to have guidelines if you're 4 months, here's what you do if you have miscarriage. 4 weeks if you have miscarriage. If you're 22 weeks, if you're 36 weeks, this is what you do if you have miscarriage. Are you crazy? There are different sources you could get guidance for this. Which black woman, lower income or class is going to get that guidance? Where are they going to get it from? Huh? Do they have enough insurance to get that guidance? Do they know what books to look for? Do they even have a doctor that's going to tell them what to do? Because clearly Dr. Jackie ain't that doctor to tell them what to do or what happens. All right? She don't even check you for delivery. So what she gonna tell you about a miscarriage? She gonna be there to comfort you and give you a hug? No, she just want to collect her money and go to fuck about her business. It ain't even about race when it comes to the doctors, because it's just evil. I don't give a fuck what your race is as a doctor. You're just evil, because all you care about is money. There's groups like the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, and their advice on what to do when you're miscarrying largely involves when you need to seek medical care, essentially when you're in danger. You know, a woman who has an ectopic pregnancy does not even know she's in danger. Most of them don't even know that they're pregnant when you have an ectopic pregnancy, okay? And a lot of those ectopic pregnancies, if you don't even know you're pregnant, it could result in your death. because that baby could pop in the fallopian tube because it gets too big. The fallopian tube can't hold that, and then you bleed the fuck out. So if you don't have a doctor that can put you on and be like, hey, you got this type of pregnancy, you got da-da-da, how they gonna tell you what to do? Dr. Jackie is one of those doctors from the American College of Obstetricians. She ain't go to the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. That's the group, right? She ain't part of that group. Was she too black for that group? She ain't giving nobody no advice. Right? Facts. Facts. And it's not a matter of, yo, Brittany Watts should have went to Dr. Simone or Dr. Jackie. No, she couldn't. For what? They don't care. They don't care about us. Play some Michael Jackson. I say that they don't really care about us. And it's disgusting when people of your own color don't give a damn about you. Okay? Dr. Jackie get on TV. I want to help all the black women of the world have the babies. And look at you. You ain't helping nothing. Hell yeah. They promote exactly. If she only accepts cash and checks from insurance companies or from your direct pocket, what the hell do you care about Medicaid? And Medicaid is also hard to get too. You got to make a certain amount of money for Medicaid, right? You got to be low income or whatever for Medicaid. So what the fuck is Medicaid really doing for miscarriages or emergency abortions in the later terms? What are they doing about that? I don't care about after. I do, but in this case, no. The mortality rates, they don't say infant mortality because it's not just infant mortality. It's mortality of the mother or mortality of the infant or both when it comes to black women. How do we deal with that? But they don't care because, like I said, they would rather one race have a lot of babies, and if they can't kill us with crack or, you know, they know we not fighting no more in the streets like we used to. Well, they got to get us somehow. I am human, B, and so is she. All right? I am human, and so is Brittany Watts. And if it's all about money that makes me human, there's a whole lot of non-humans out here, and all of us need to stand up. Because I'll get into what we need to do, too. All right? Let's keep going. Our prosecutor saying that Brittany Watts, what they think she should have done in this case, I've heard them say that she shouldn't have gotten her hair done after, or she shouldn't have flushed the toilet. Well, she probably didn't even know. She probably didn't even know that it was the baby that came out of her. She probably thought it was doo-doo. But these men don't know that. They don't know that it almost feels the same. That she probably thought she was constipated. I'm constipated. Let me push this doo-doo out. And it's a baby. So she might even look. Telling me. So what you have is prosecutors essentially saying what should not have happened without offering any guidance on what should have happened. Come on. You don't even have a guideline to set your so-called standards on. There are none. You're not Columbo, motherfucker. And you damn sure ain't no doctor. So how would you know? So we can infer that all they thought she shouldn't have flushed the toilet or gone to the hairdresser. Come on. What do we know about why the prosecutor decided to move forward here? Because it seems to me that this was a real choice. You can look at the same set of circumstances and make a different decision, I assume. The choice of focus on this case is about priorities. And this prosecutor believed that Brittany Watts' case was a priority. You know what, people of Ohio? I suggest you get rid of this prosecutor as soon as possible. I don't care if you're white, you're black, or you're from Mercury, okay? I don't care. Get rid of this prosecutor. You don't need a prosecutor that is racist as fuck, all right? Because if he's racist for black women, I guarantee you, white woman, he's going to do the same to you. Let's keep going. It's interesting to me to hear their language now, the prosecutors, because they're saying stuff like the county was compelled to move forward once the case was bound over from municipal court. No, and when you read them talking about the Watts case, the assistant prosecutor said something like, the issue isn't how the child died or when the child died. It's the fact that the baby was put into the toilet. Nobody put a baby in the toilet. No one put a baby in a toilet. Nobody, buddy. She went to the bathroom to take a dump. The baby ended up in the toilet. I mean, she could have easily had the baby in the bathtub if she knew that the baby was going to come out. That's a lot safer, okay? If she really knew that she was going to have the baby and it was going to push out, wouldn't you think the bathtub is a lot safer than a toilet? Hello? Fill the tub with water and let's have the baby, okay? Like that. That's common sense. Clearly, if it's in a toilet, she didn't know that she was going to have a stillborn or a miscarriage or whatever. Come on, man. These people are dumb. Dumb. It sounds like a prosecutor that thought that a deep wrong was committed more important than other crimes occurring in that district that deserve time and energy. The prosecutor is deeply wrong. Hold on, this is important. When I watched footage from the courtroom, Brittany Watts' attorney raised this question that I thought was so important. What constitutes a corpse? If a fetus hasn't taken a breath, is it a corpse that you can abuse? Which seems like an important question. Can you explain why that's so important? There's a basic legal point that Ohio's law, like most statutes about abuse of a corpse, requires particular boxes be checked for a guilty verdict. So what are we doing? Hollywood Squares? Tic-tac-toe? The fuck? The law says no person except as authorized by law shall treat a human corpse in a way that would outrage reasonable community sensibilities. She didn't treat a corpse a certain way. And if that's the case, no person except as authorized by law should treat a human corpse in a way that would outrage reasonable community sensibilities. That in itself should have told the hospital that it can do what it do, because they are authorized by law. The hospital, those doctors are authorized by law to treat a human corpse in whatever way possible, right? So they should have did the induction. What do you mean? I must be the idiot here. I must be the idiot here, and I'm not even a lawyer. No person except as authorized by law shall treat a human corpse in a way that would outrage reasonable community sensibilities. Them doing an induction to make sure she lives would not have outraged anybody's reasonable community sensibilities, okay? And they are authorized by law to do it. And if they already deemed the baby as non-viable, it's already a corpse. You could have easily taken care of it without going 8 hours of trying to figure out if you're breaking the law. No, man, Mary Jean, don't make sense to me either. It's just making me more and more upset. And we need to do something about this as soon as possible, okay? We really do. Kamala Harris, where are you now? Because Kamala Harris, you were a lawyer too. But you know what? You were a criminal lawyer. So I wouldn't put you on this, because you probably do the same thing to this lady that you did to those men in California. All right? I don't know how you made vice president. Shit. Nah, I cussed. Of course they are. Of course they are. You already know it, me and Mary Jean. It's already fodder. It's already. Let's keep going. So Watts' attorney and really prosecutors too are fighting about the status of this fetus. Is this fetus a person and therefore a human corpse, or is this fetus not yet a rights-holding person, somehow just different from a corpse? And I don't think the law is clear about this, in part because abuse of corpse laws were written a long time ago, largely to address grave robbing, not circumstances like this. So she's not a grave robber. So why are you putting this old, antiquated law into place? If this fetus is ruled as a corpse, what will that mean in a larger way? In a smaller picture way, it'll mean that other people who miscarry and don't know what to do, like Brittany Watts, will potentially be more easily criminalized too. But guess what? They're not going to give a fuck about that until it's a white lady. And forgive me, white ladies, okay? It's just the truth. And deal with it. If you don't like it, do something about it and help us out, okay? Because they're going to come for you too. But that obviously has two purposes for the anti-abortion movement. One, it will further add a chilling effect of people who are unsure what they can do and cannot do when it comes to abortion and pregnancy. And fear often renders people paralyzed. No, I'm not going to be paralyzed, and I ain't going to fear nothing. The lady didn't have an abortion. She was pregnant. She lost a baby. It's a difference. There's also a legal strategy at play here, which is to write the idea of fetal personhood into more and more areas of law that are not abortion until abortion law looks like an outlier. If a fetus is a rights holder in every area of law but abortion, it's going to look weirder and weirder that the law doesn't treat that fetuses as a right holder in the context of abortion. So this is a brick by brick strategy to change the way the law approaches fetal personhood. For years, even before Roe versus Wade was overturned, I'd hear about cases like the one against Brittany Watts. Women charged with causing their own miscarriage or not handling them appropriately. Does this not sound like the Salem witch hunts to you? Because most of them weren't witches either. It does, because again, it's an old fact pattern. Low-income women, especially women of color, but almost always low-income women, were charged for essentially doing a bad job being pregnant and making risky decisions that ended the pregnancy. Hello? What's the risky decision? Deciding to have a baby? They were more abortion adjacent. It was people being charged for pregnancy loss, but not abortion. This is a case where everyone agrees that Brittany Watts did not cause the end of the pregnancy, and yet we're seeing a prosecution anyway. So we're seeing this pursuit of fetal personhood spread and change and evolve, and that's what really is significant. This is not a case where we're blaming someone for ending a pregnancy. Yes, it is. This is a case where everyone agrees that the pregnancy was non-viable and nothing can be done. And yet we're seeing these charges anyway. Exactly. So all of this basically ignores the voters, and they're doing a runaround against the voters. Trouble. So you see me, Mary Jane, if you're still in the building, you just understood how they're going to use this for propaganda for Roe versus Wade and sideswipe what voters believe in, because we voted this shit. All right? This is another way for them to end Roe versus Wade and lock us down and control us and all that good stuff. Aren't we supposed to be free? Ain't this supposed to be the land of the free? Ain't I supposed to have free speech and right to this and right to that as a citizen? And then where's my basic human right? Because you didn't take care of me anyway. This is so ridiculous. How about we blame the hospital instead of blaming her? Because they didn't do their due diligence either, if that's the case, right? How do we get hospitals to do their due diligence? How do we get doctors to do their due diligence without having to worry about no stupid ass law that don't make no freaking sense when there are lives on the line? I'm not doing that. Everybody gets help except for black people. This is I am human, man. I don't even feel like showing y'all other articles or whatever. But what I will show you is this one, okay? I'll show you this one. Hold on a second, y'all. Well, what that mean, Mary Jean? It's still a part of the LGBTQ TIA plus, which is way more popular than black people, child. Okay? Me personally, I think a lot of people become trans who are black. They become trans and all of that just so that they can get better rights. All right? If I'm a woman or I'm a man, a black man or a black woman that lives in New York City and I need help with a job or I need housing or any of that, I can't get it. I will become homeless in the street, okay? But if you're a gay black man that lives anywhere else outside of New York City and you have HIV, you could come to New York City. They will give you a place to live. They will give you food stamps. They will give you medication. They will take care of you. Okay? A single heterosexual black man or even a black man that has a family. Okay? I'm going to tell y'all another thing. In New York City, it's hard for a black man to find a shelter unless he's married. Okay? It's easy for a woman and her kids to find a shelter. But those family shelters, the only way the man can be in there is if they're married. Okay? Other than that, no, he's asked out. Let's go to this stupid ass thing. Ohio prosecutor says he's duty bound to bring the miscarriage case to a grand jury. Duty bound by who? Duty bound by what? Huh? An Ohio prosecutor says it's not within his power to drop a criminal charge against the woman who miscarried in the restroom at her home, regardless of pressure being brought to bear by national attention on her case. Trumbull County prosecutor Dennis Watkins said in a release issued late Tuesday that he is obligated to present the felony abuse of corpse charge against Brittany Watts to a grand jury. I hope he loses, and I hope he loses his job. We are bound to follow Ohio law, noting that the memo would suffice as his office's only comment on the matter. Defendants are no billed or not indicted about 20% of the hundreds of cases county grand juries hear each year. This office as always will present every case with fairness. That's a lie because you didn't come into the case with fairness. All right? There was no way. The case touched off a national firestorm over the treatment of pregnant women, particularly those like Watts who are black, in the wake of the U.S. Supreme Court's June 2022 decision overturning federal abortion protections. But she did not abort the baby. An autopsy found no recent injuries to the fetus which had died in utero. So clearly, she did not mess with a corpse. She did not abuse a corpse. On Friday, Ohio Physicians for Reproductive Rights, a coalition behind Ohio's newly passed Reproductive Rights Amendment, wrote to Watkins urging him to drop the charges. Of course, he ain't gonna do it, child. What's up, Tony? Welcome back. It is infuriating. You know what I'm saying? It is. I'm gonna show y'all one more thing, and then we're gonna talk some more, okay? Just one more thing. This is Pregnancy Justice, all right? This is a non-for-profit organization that helps defend the civil and human rights of pregnant people, focusing on those most likely to be targeted for investigation, arrest, detention, or family separation, poor people, people of color, and people who use drugs. Not all people of color use drugs. Not all people of color are poor. All right? We are human beings, okay? And I don't care what anybody says. If ain't nobody gonna help us, we have to learn how to help ourselves, okay? We really do. I'm gonna type in the chat the link for Pregnancy Justice if you're interested in learning more about what they do. Because this is important here. Right now they need lawyers. I'm not a lawyer, but if you are a lawyer or you know a lawyer and you want to work on something like this, please contact them. They are located in New York City. Okay? Man, what do we do? What can we do as Black women? Like I said before, where are the doulas and where are the midwives? Do we need this extra step in order to be safe? Do we need to create our own birthing centers? How can doulas and midwives ensure that mortality during childbirth or pregnancy, whether by miscarriage or whatever, does not happen, especially if a woman chooses to keep the baby? How do we make this right? Because clearly we can't end racism anytime soon, right? We can't. If we could end racism right now, how long would it take to end systemic racism that's ingrained in our laws and in our textbooks of learning? And that's another problem, Tony. I'm tired of people not believing us. What is it? Is it in a book somewhere that Black only lie or something? Tony, it makes no sense at all. All right? At all. And you should have sued that hospital too, just for that. If everybody else could be a Karen, why we can't be Karens? Huh? Why we can't find the lawyers that'll back us up to sue the shit out of these people? Where are they? Black, white, I don't care what race you are. Where are you? We need to figure these things out so this does not happen to the next generation of Black women. All right? All our girl children, we need to make sure that they can have legacy too. All right? And not end up like no Black woman should be able to tell me, well, I had about 4 miscarriages, but I'm okay because now I have 2 kids. I shouldn't hear that from a Black woman, okay? Because that's still mental issues right there that need to be healed. And I'm tired of trauma bonding. Fuck trauma bonding, okay? And it's not like you sharing your story is trauma bonding or me sharing my story is trauma bonding. No, we need to share our stories so people have more awareness. But what I don't want to do is use it for trauma bonding and we don't go forward and transform what the fuck it is. That's what I'm at. All right? I'm reading everything Tony is writing right now. I'm not exactly going to put it on the screen, but I'm definitely reading. I want to know. I'm not mad at Tony. I got my own story. You understand? This is something that we need to know because the more women say, yo, that happened to me, that happened to me, that happened to me, that happened to me, somebody's going to learn how to make a change. Somebody's going to figure something out. Fuck this. There's no sisterhood. Fuck a sisterhood. I don't even care. This is about the kids. This is about the babies that's supposed to be born. This is about the mamas that's supposed to enjoy motherhood. This is about women who are supposed to enjoy womanhood. Okay? This is about humans enjoying it in human experiences and having basic human rights and being believed and respected and protected because we are humans. We fucking deserve it. What? Tony, what? Oh, hell no. You should have. You should have. And you know what? I'm not mad that you didn't. But you should have, honey. And I wish you still could. Just like how New York State extended that law for sexual abuse, I hope they open up one where we could sue somebody after the fact, 10 years, 15 years after the fact. I don't care about the lawsuit about relaxers right now, okay? I don't care how far the rabbit hole go. All I know is right now, we need to protect ourselves and our future children and our children. And no woman should have to sit there and say, yo, I'm just ready to get the fuck away from there and never have a baby again. No woman should say that. None. See me, Mary Jean? But that's your choice. Okay? And if you got that, you got the epidural, but ain't nobody say that you had something else in your system. Come on now. How come she begs for an epidural and then when she gets it, they try to say she's on drugs? That's stupid right there. You wasn't no drug addict before you walked up in there. So now all of a sudden you're a drug addict? What is this? I can't take all these microaggressions and setups and all that stuff. Why? Why do you think a black woman is so angry? Huh? Why do you think she comes off the way she comes off? Look at what we have to go through. You'd be angry too if you had to go through any of that. But no, you got white privilege. You got all these different privileges that you can't even see what the fuck it is. But I'm a human being. I am human. If there was ever a movement for me to begin, it would be hashtag I am human. Black men, do you want to know how to support us? You say it too. I am human. You don't need to do nothing else but say I am human. Tony, when I went through my thing, I was embarrassed, ashamed, guilty, all kinds of shit. I had no reason to be guilty. Not a damn reason to be guilty. Not a damn. Hell no. Like I said, I ain't trying to trauma bond, but we need to know these things. And we shouldn't have to tell each other these things after the fact. All right? We shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to hear this from Tony after the fact. You shouldn't have to hear my story after the fact. You shouldn't have to hear what happened to me, Mary Jean, after the fact. We should be able to collectively, oh, you pregnant? Okay, let's watch you and see what happened. Oh, this is going on. Oh, no, you about to, oh, no. We don't want you miscarrying. Ooh, we don't, no. You in pain, baby? Let's do this. Let's do that. Why y'all think black women go to herbs and we go back to what Granny and Tanti and them used to teach us? And they would call us witches. Okay? I guarantee you a black woman, you say, I don't want to deal with no damn doctor. I'm dealing with a doula, I'm dealing with a midwife. And that doula and that midwife say, yo, take these herbs here, do this, do that. We're going to keep you right. I bet you they call you a witch. It's like people can't win. And for what? Are you making more money this way? Which you need to have a reason to keep a job? Like they don't have a need for prosecutors in the criminal system and all that. You just making up shit to fill a quota? What are we doing? What are we doing? What? That's crazy, me, Mary Gina. I'm not putting your comment up either. And what they do after that? Say sorry. Oh, we sorry. No, that's your fault. That's your fault, me, Mary Jean. Because you should have known it would have been up in there. You should have pushed a little harder, me, Mary Jean. I'm sorry, Tony, that you went through what you went through. And me, Mary Jean, I'm sorry what you went through too. Any woman that has gone through some type of shit, I'm sorry you went through that. I didn't have nothing to do with it, but I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sorry what happened with me too. I ain't going to sit back and stay quiet no more. I ain't going to stay silent no more. I'm not going to be the resilient one no more. You want me to be strong? Let me show you what the fuck strong looks like. Oh, black women are strong. We can take anything. No. I'm really going to show you what the fuck strong looks like. It don't look like what you say it looked like, but it's going to look like me speaking up and speaking out and seeing what we could do. That's what it is. Anemic? You was anemic after that? Me, Mary Jean, here's what you take for your anemia. Safest thing ever. Take it for 3 months. You be fine. You'll drink as much as you want to. Get in a tea bag at first, okay? And add something sweet because it's bitter as fuck. All right? It's good for your bones and your blood. All right? It got vitamins, it got calcium, vitamin K for your bones, and iron in it. All right? Don't take no multivitamin no more. Hear what I tell you. I telling you that. Don't take no more multivitamin. Why? Because the iron in the multivitamin does not mix well with the calcium and magnesium in those multivitamins, okay? 3/4 of the time, the type of iron in the multivitamin is not bioavailable to your body. You will just shit green. And that green is the iron that should be in your system, okay? Fuck that. No. Nettle leaf is natural iron mixing with the calcium and the vitamin K, all right? Because as a matter of fact, the best time to take calcium and magnesium is at night. That's when it processes the best while you sleep. The best time to take iron is in the morning while you're awake. All right? I don't care if it's a life experience. You know how long life experiences last for? Life, mean Mary Jean. Your life experience is for life. Okay? So it's for life. And nettle leaf is good for any stage of any woman in her life. I don't care if she's 12. I don't care if she's 82. You take you some nettle leaf tea. You understand? I'm telling you. I ain't asking. I'm telling. I know this. I've cured my anemia with nettle leaf tea and dandelion leaf. All right? You might not need dandelion unless you got acne or some shit. But nettle leaf gonna do what it do. All right? It's definitely gonna do what it do. As a matter of fact, I got a nettle leaf video that I need to share on my other page. Any woman, I don't care how old you are. As soon as you hit puberty, even if your period not come yet, well, you get you some nettle leaf tea, you understand me? And you drink at least once a week or twice a month. If you don't need it every day. And if you need it every day, I drink it every fucking day. It don't do nothing to you. As a matter of fact, if you add nettle leaf to any herb, it will boost the efficiency of that herb. That's how powerful that thing about you. You better go research them thing, yeah. You don't believe what I say because me a black woman? Go look it up. Because if anybody not tell you wrong, I'm going to tell you wrong. And I have no reason to speak wrong for no. Anyway, I'll get myself back together. All right? That's how vexed me was. Woo! Let me pull the American in and put the West Indian over this up. Chap. Basically, before I go, I want to tell y'all that I'm not giving up on this, okay? I've always been about women's health. All right. And I never really had a sisterhood like that in my life, but I do have sisters. And I know there's women out there that value me and I value them. Okay. And we don't have to officially call it a sisterhood or whatever the fuck y'all want to call it, whatever. It don't have to be that. All it needs to be is a bunch of human fucking beings acting like human beings and looking at other human beings like they're fucking human. That's what I really want. Black love is great. Black excellence is great. Black power is great. Whoop-de-whap. I'm fucking human. And if I need to get over the effects of racism and slavery and all that other shit, I need to make sure that I know I'm human, and I'm going to make sure you know that I'm human, okay? I am human, all right? First and foremost. And as my basic human right, I need to be treated as such. Me and Mary Jean is in any local health food store. You can even go on Amazon and look for it. It's everywhere. I remember I was growing it on my damn terrace. I should grow some more. It's called stinging nettle, okay? Stinging nettle. Fundi Fee about to go live in 30 minutes. I suggest y'all check her out. The next time I come back here, I'm going to tell y'all what my next steps are. Because what I really want to do is talk to doulas and talk to midwives. Why y'all not out in the forefront? What are y'all doing? What is this really about? How do you help bridge the gap between this woman and the hospital that she can't trust for nothing? What services do you provide that the doctors will never provide, that the hospital will never provide? And why should I tell any woman who's about to have a baby to go see the doula instead of taking her ass to the obstetrician or the gynecologist? Thank you, Mean Mary Jean. And you valued by this whole black broad right here, okay? Because like I said, Mean Mary Jean, it started with us. Y'all gonna get it too after a while. When they eradicate all of us as black women, who they gonna go after next? Y'all. Because we're women, period, okay? We are women, period. And there's a whole misogyny thing going on. But before I get the misogyny, you got to know I'm a human being as a black person, okay? Me, Mary Jean, she sees me as human. I'm not talking to her. And if me and Mary Jean goes to spread the word, they don't hear her. All I need me and Mary Jean to say, point at a black person. They're human. You know that, right? That's what I need you to do as a white person, me, Mary Jean. Whoever black people you know you value, when you see a motherfucker act stupid next to them, go to you know they're human too, right? They're human. They are human beings. Hello? Because there's evil in every race. There's evil in every gender, okay? There's freaking rocks probably could be evil if they had sentience. You understand me? Evil permeates through every fucking thing. So don't sit there to tell me black women is evil or da-da-da. No. Human beings are fucking evil and they're good. We have the capability of all things, and we all have basic human rights. I shouldn't have less rights than a criminal in prison, okay? Somebody's fighting for them. How come ain't nobody fighting for us? Anyway, I'm about to get out of here, y'all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me. Hit the like and shit. If you want to donate to me, look my Cash App right underneath my name. I was going to do a live explaining why I took the Lee off, but nah, this is more important than that. I'll get to that another day. I don't even care about this drama right now. I don't even care about the YouTube streets. I'm not navigating through YouTube streets right now. I'm navigating through YouTube to save real life black human beings, including my motherfucker self. I don't even give a damn about Boruto right now. Boruto can kick rocks. I get back to Boruto next month after my birthday. Okay, and they better have a good chapter for my birthday. But right now we focus on other things. Okay? So like I said, if you know a doula or you know a midwife, I would like to talk to them, have an interview with them. Okay? I should have put up a link. No, I don't need to do that. It's okay, me, Mary Jean. They gonna do hard ears don't hear, they must feel. All right. If y'all want me to put a link up, I sure can. But you know what I'm saying? The next time I come, I will definitely put the link up. Not only for those people, but for people like y'all that need to speak up, that want to speak out, that want to, you know what I'm saying? Spread awareness and shit. Fuck a trauma bond. We spreading awareness now. We gonna make a turnaround. If we ain't gonna spread the word to them, we gonna figure out how to heal us. Okay? That's where I'm at. If I can't spread the word to the young people or the next generation, no, I'm gonna learn how to heal, and I'm gonna show Tony how to heal, and Tony gonna show me, Mary Jean, how to heal, and me, Mary Jean, gonna show her friend how to heal. Then when they go through this shit, okay, we gonna learn how to mentally heal, emotionally heal, physically heal. And you better believe it. The fuck? The fuck is wrong with my mouth? I'm out. Peace. And hit the like, bitch. Bye.